It's Monday, it's noon, which means it's another edition of Ski-U-Mah Weekly presented by the Minnesota Lottery. I'm Justin Gaard from KFAN Radio and the Gopher Radio Network. A little disappointed because we're not in the Nutrition Center this week. We had a great time last week. You can check the episode from last week where I basically ate 4,000 calories thanks to our guys over there. But the blow has been softened because I'm here with one of our favorite guests on Ski-U-Mah Weekly, making his second appearance of the season. Gopher women's hockey coach Brad Frost. Thanks for taking the time.
My pleasure as always.
Sorry we didn't bring the omelet from the Nutrition Center last week. I took care of that one myself. So
yeah,
you're on your
I've
own.
been there a few times myself, so it's
good
all
for you.
Yeah.
We're in Ritter Arena, where of course this man spends a lot of time, and you'll be spending some time here this weekend as well as playoff action begins versus St. Cloud State. We'll talk about that in a second, but regular season is now come and gone. Just give us kind of the boilerplate, assess how you feel like the season went so far.
Yeah, you know, kind of more of an up and down season than what we've had in the past. But like where our team is at, we just got swept out at Wisconsin. Obviously, don't like that, but they were both one-goal games. They're the number one team in the country on the road. I thought we played pretty well. So hopefully we get another crack at them. But we're excited about the upcoming series and the playoffs starting here against St. Cloud State.
We talked, I think, in like October or November as the season was just about to start. From what you thought that day to what you think now, how did the season go compared to kind of what you thought you had? We're going to talk about the Olympic angle and how that affects what you do, but from that day to where we are now, about what you thought, better than you thought, a little worse than you thought, what do you think?
Yeah, I think about what we thought. You know, we've all of our losses this year have been real close, one-goal games. Had a couple that were two-goal games, but we've also won some important games against Minnesota Duluth and Bemidji and Mankato and St. Cloud in the past. So, you know, hopefully it's a new season here, so hopefully we can start fresh and try and get on a little bit of a run.
And following you, especially recently, going back to the St. Cloud series, but certainly at Wisconsin, you know, you're up on the Badgers on the first game, one-goal game, close game on Sunday as well, but it seems like they were playing how you wanted them to play, especially the last couple of weeks. That has to bode well for postseason.
Yeah, I think so. You know, we made some adjustments and we were able to execute those fairly well early on in the game on Friday. You know, getting up by 2 goals there, you never want to end up losing that hockey game. But we just got a little, we lacked some discipline in some certain areas that we were really executing real well early on. And so it was a good learning experience for us. And if we can just put that together for a full 60 minutes, I really believe we can beat anybody.
We're going to talk to a couple of your seniors here next segment, but they're in the interesting spot where this is a year where you are missing some pieces, and everybody knows that going in, but they've had to assume a little bit different roles as they go along. What do you say about the senior class in general and how they've done?
Yeah, it's been great. I mean, you look at Sydney Baldwin in particular, and, you know, she's captain for us, scored 2 goals in the first period there on Friday night, and you know, big goals for us. And she's just somebody that competes every single day, every single game. Kara Piazza, same thing, hard worker. They're both wonderful people, along with Caitlin Riley and Sid Peters, our goaltender. It's they've had a real good year, and I know they're looking forward to this coming weekend and really trying to do some special things as we go forward.
With the underclassmen, how have they assumed new roles this year and maybe gotten experiences that they wouldn't otherwise have gotten with the 3 departures, so to speak? But what do you hope that does for them moving forward, even in the playoffs and, of course, next year?
Yeah, you know, it's the hockey season's a grind. It's 6 months. It's a long time, but you know, you look at some of our freshmen in regards to Grace Zomwinkle, Taylor Wente, Emily Brown, Olivia Knowles. I mean, those guys are contributing big minutes for us, and they're scoring some goals and doing some things that are really good. And same with our sophomore and junior class. So that's only going to help us going forward into the playoffs and in particular in the next year.
What's it like watching so many familiar faces on the Olympic ice?
It's fun. I mean, last night all 8 of them were on the ice together. It's hard when one of the alumni is a goaltender in Nora Ratu.
Yeah,
and, you know,
for Finland.
Yeah, and so you're hoping she does really well, but still hoping that the 6 Americans do well. And you know, it's kind of a conflict of interest there. But really proud of those guys. And you know, what's been really neat, in particular, the 2 Finland U.S. games, is it's a public service announcement for Gopher women's hockey and the University of Minnesota. I mean, it's just constant Gopher. Here's a Gopher. She won back-to-back national championships, and you know, all these different things to promote our team, and that's just great for our program. now hopefully the U.S. can complete their drive for a gold medal here on Wednesday night, as they've been heartbroken here the last number of Olympics, and same with Nora and Mira in Finland. I really think they're the third best team in the Olympics, and now they need to go out there and prove it after getting upset 4 years ago, but hopefully they can bring that bronze medal home this year.
Well, I think I saw 4 goals all by Gophers, right, against Finland. I thought I saw that headline, so that's good. You just print that out and send it to recruits. Is that allowable? Yeah, you could do that,
yeah,
right?
as long as they're juniors or older. But, most of them are committed by 9th grade. So
that's true. Yeah, that's a whole different Ski-U-Mah Weekly. We can talk about that. What's it like for your team? You know, and we're going to talk to Sydney. You know, she and Kelly are very close. You know, we're in the lounge right now. For people that can't tell, there are some good food options. No omelet bar, but some very good food here. But that has to be kind of a cool experience for them to watch people that have not only come through the program, but one that's on her way back here next year. Yeah,
for sure. And Kelly Panic in particular, going to be a senior for us next year. She's in Kara was in Kara and Sydney's class, and so those 3 in particular are best friends, and I know they're keeping in contact with her, and they're real tight. But it's fun. I mean, the experience that Kelly's getting, the leadership she's going to be able to bring back, all those things are just going to be huge for her and her experiences, but also for our team.
What sets the USA-Canada rivalry apart from, I mean, they play all the time. They did the tour that came through the X. Obviously, they played a number of gold medal games. From a coach's perspective, what stands out about those games?
Well, I actually look at it very similar to when we play Wisconsin.
Yeah.
You know, when so many of our games against Wisconsin, we're number 1, they're number 2, or vice versa. And it's really a flip a coin type game, and it's the same thing for Canada, U.S. The intensity, the pride, the passion, the compete level is off the charts. If you watch the first game where Canada won 2-1, U.S. outshot them almost 2-1. There was probably 3 or 4 opportunities or times where you thought there might be a brawl. You know, they just get after it, and there's so much pride on the line. And for the U.S., after being up 2-0 with 4 minutes to go in the gold medal game 4 years ago and losing it, it's all they've really been thinking about for the last 4 years, and Canada obviously wants to keep that dominance. So 2 real good teams. The players know each other very well. They actually play against each other or with each other in college hockey oftentimes too.
Well, I wanted to ask you about that. Is it going to be awkward? I know one of the Potomacs is with you right now, the younger one, right? Yep. The older one's back taking some classes. But do you think it's awkward if they're watching the gold medal game and it's a bunch of Americans cheering and she's just in the corner by herself? How do we manage that?
Yeah,
You're the coach. How do we manage that whole thing?
I know with Amy this year, I don't think she's watching the Olympics.
Okay.
The disappointment was too much, and so I think she'd like to be on a deserted island somewhere in the Caribbean, but she's not able to do that. But I remember 4 years ago, you know, we watched it in here actually, and so our Canadian kids were cheering for the Canadians, yet still kind of cheering for our American kids as well, and so it was just as a coach, you've got all these different nationalities coming from different countries, and they're all cheering for each other, yet still cheering for their home country, so it's kind of fun.
Back to your team, the playoffs start this weekend, Friday night, 7:07 here at Ritter Arena, then Saturday at 4:07. If there's a third game necessary, we'll play that on Sunday right here. St. Cloud State, again, that's been locked in, I think, even before this weekend started. You played them a couple of weekends ago up there. We talked before the show. They're playing about as well as anybody in the country here this second half. What stands out about the Huskies?
Well, first and foremost, they're goaltenders. They have 2 of them, Emma Plusny and the Swiss backup goalie as well is their other goalie, and so they've been rotating and both playing extremely well. They're well coached. Eric Rude does a great job with them, and they've got some real difference makers. One's a German kid that they got who's a freshman, Laura Kluge, who's a big, strong power forward, and a kid by the last name of Tilke, who's real dangerous, got great hands and the ability to score. So should be a great matchup there. We've been pretty successful against them over the last number of years, but like you said, they're playing as well as anybody, and it will be a great challenge.
Do you think it helps that you were just up there a few weeks ago, and I know game 1 you led late and you were disappointed in how you finished, but responded really well for the second game? I think it was a 5-2 victory. Do you think that helps? That, you know, not that your team would ever overlook anybody. I know that's the coach's worst nightmare, but you just saw these guys a couple of weeks ago and you know what you have to bring.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, you know, just the our teams know each other so well because we play each other 4 times. We've actually already played St. Cloud 5 times because we played a non-conference game when North Dakota dropped their program. We needed to pick up some games. So this will be number 6 and 7 and potentially 8 against them, which is just crazy. But no, our team knows who their top players are, what they have to do to win, and the question will be, can we execute at a high level?
Well, thanks for taking the time today. We're going to help you off this couch. I'm sitting up because I'm too old to get off this couch on my own, so I'm right on the fringe. But good luck this weekend, Brad. I hope to talk to you in a couple of weeks.
Look forward to it.
That's Brad Frost. The Gophers and the Huskies, like I said, this weekend at Ritter Arena. Tickets are available at gophersports.com, and we'll talk to a couple of those seniors when we come back here on Ski-U-Mah Weekly.